Okay, all right. So let's have a look at next thing, which is to find the equation of a line which passes through a certain point, especially if we know the gradient of that point. And this leads on to something else we're about to get onto, which is called perpendicular lines. So let's have a look at how to do this, and I'll do some examples on a separate sheet here. So let's have a look. So let's imagine, I'll put here exercise 6G.3. Not that I really know what that is, but it doesn't really matter too much. All right, so we've got a point. I'll put 1, comma 3. There it is, that's my point. And we've got a gradient and m value, so I'll put the point equals m equals. So we've got a gradient of 2. So we can pretty much work out how to do that. Now, there's a number of ways that we can do that. Perhaps the most obvious is just to use y equals mx plus c. So I could write y equals mx plus c. That's my gradient intercept formula. So all we're going to do is, remember, we need y is equal to something. That's my something, yeah? Something x needs to be a value of some sort. And c, which is another something, yeah? When we write this out at the end, y stays a y, x stays a y. They are the only things that remain that. The other two change in response to all of this stuff. So that's where we end up. Let's get there first. So I'm going to rewrite this now using this information. So I'll put an equals first. What do I know here? I know my m value. I've got a 2. Now, I do not know my c. I'm going to put a plus c on the end. But I have got an x value. There's my x value there. X value is 1, so it's going to be mx. That means 2 times x, 2 times 1, because 1 is x. What is my y value? Y is, there is 3. Y is 3, so I've got 3 is equal to 2 times 1 plus c. In other words, 3 is equal to 2 plus c. So to find c, I just subtract 2 from each side, and we've got a c. c is equal to 3 minus 2 is 1. So now we can write the whole thing. We're going to write a y is equal to m something x plus c something. So we're going to write y is equal to m was 2, there it is. Put an x, so we're going to keep a y, we're going to keep the x, put a plus, and we're going to put the c, which was a 1. There it is. And there is our formula. The equation. That's our equation of the graph that passes through 1, comma 3 with a gradient of 2. All right, let's do another one. Let's choose one with a few more negatives and stuff in it, okay. Oh, look, I like this one here, D. Look at this, negative 2, 1 with a gradient of 2. Oh, in fact, this one here, 4, negative 2 with a gradient of negative 4/5. Like that one, that's very cool. Let's just do that one. So here we go. I'm going to write, so the point, here it is, the point we've got is, and I'll just have to be able to see that, sorry. Okay, let's see. The point we've got is a 4, comma, negative 2. The gradient, or m, is equal to negative 4/5. There it is. All right. So now we need to find the line that passes through this point with this gradient. So I'm going to write y is equal to mx plus c. All right. Let's populate this with this information here. There is my x value. There is my y value. There is my m value. Y value, negative 2. M value, negative 4/5. X value, 4. Plus my c, which I do not know. All right, well, negative 4 times 4, so it's negative 2 is equal to, 4 fours is negative 16 on 5 plus c. All right, now, best really done using a calculator. So I'm going to use the calculator here, and I'm just going to say negative 2, and I'm going to add 16/5. Add 16/5 to both sides. So let's try that. I got my negative 2. Oops. Negative 2 plus, I'm going to have 16/5 to both sides, which is equal to 6/5. So c, because that cancels, c is equal to, and we've got 6/5, or 6/5. So now we can write our whole thing. We know that y is equal to m. M is negative 4/5, x plus 6/5. Or if you wanted, and I tend not to do this, but you could write this if you wanted, negative 4x plus 6 all on 5 if you wanted. Or you could swap these two around and get rid of the plus there, and that would work just as well. But I prefer this. We have gradient intercept. Or you could write it in the general form if you wished. And the general form, we would just simply get rid of all the fractions. So to write the general form, and I'll do that now for you. So general form is quite a useful way of doing it, but it means we have no fractions. Here we go. Y is equal to negative 4 on 5x plus 6 on 5. And to get rid of the denominators, I'm just going to multiply everything by 5. Multiply this by 5, this by 5, and this by 5. Of course, 5 divided by 5 goes, 5 divided by 5 goes, and I'm left with 5y is equal to negative 4x plus 6. And I'm going to add 4x to both sides, add 4x to both sides. So now I've got 4x plus 5y. Notice I've got these in alphabetical order. X then y is equal to 6. And there's my general form. So quite a few different ways of expressing that, which we'll talk about as time goes on.